Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be our monthly TBR jar video. I am so excited. These are my favorite videos to film, but before we get to picking prompts, let's run through what happened with last month, June's TBR. Also, please disregard my pimple patch. I am dying. It is one of those like under the skin ones that just hurts like hell, and I don't know what to do about it. I'm just letting her live down there because I can't think about it right now. It's too much for me. That's also why we are giving the skin a break today. No makeup, as you can see. But without further ado, let's talk about last month's reads. So, last month's TBR was pretty extensive. I ended up having an 8 book TBR total, which is a little bit adventurous for me. I usually read 4 to 7 books a month. On a good month, sometimes I'll read 10 and go crazy, but usually I like to keep my TBRs to about 7 books total. Last month, I was adventurous and went for 8, and I only ended up reading 4 of them. So let's go over the 4 that I read and the 4 that I did not end up picking up. So, the first book that I actually ended up reading last month was The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I'm sure you've either heard of the book or the movie at some point. This is like a modern classic. It's a really short read, it's just a little bit over 200 pages. And I really, really enjoyed this book. It focuses a lot on mental health and it's written entirely through letters that our main character is writing to a stranger and just mailing them out. And he's kind of using this as like his personal diary just to get the thoughts out and send them away. And it really focuses a lot on mental health. It focuses a lot on very specific childhood trauma, I feel like. And it was really sad and heartbreaking, but also like really moving in general. And I really enjoyed the extra letter at the end that I got because this is a 20th anniversary edition. So there was an extra letter 20 years later from our main character. And I thought that that was really, really sweet. It was just beautiful and moving to me. I've never read a book that was written from that kind of perspective. So I just found it really enjoyable and interesting. I gave this one 5 stars. It was just so moving. I felt like I couldn't not give it 5 stars. So I definitely did enjoy reading this one. So, the next book that I ended up reading was actually the main focus of a vlog that I actually posted last week. It was like a June monthly vlog, but I talked a lot about this book in it, and that is I Kissed Shara Wheeler. I'm not going to go too in depth about this book in this video since I did go pretty in depth in last week's video. You can go ahead and check that out and skip to the end. There is a sort of in depth review on my thoughts and feelings about it. But overall, I really enjoyed it. It was the perfect Pride Month read. I love seeing queer characters in books and queer main characters, especially. It's so rare to just find books where LGBTQ characters are the main character and where they are written authentically. And I just feel like this was a really good example of that. I also love that it's YA, so it's appropriate for most ages, and that made me really happy as well. This book had surprise mystery elements I really liked. There's a whole bunch of things I could say about it. Most of those things I said in my last video, and I ended up giving this one 4 stars. The next book that I ended up picking up was a thriller, and that was The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. You guys know how much I love Miss Holly Jackson. She writes, in my opinion, some of the best YA thrillers ever, and I have read all of her books now. I'm so excited. The new one is coming out this month, so hopefully I will get to pick that up and read that soon. But I am so excited about everything that she writes. I was so excited to pick this up, and I'm so glad that I finally did. The plot was so interesting. We're following our main character, Annabelle, who goes by Belle. All of Holly Jackson's main characters have 3 letter names, which is something that I've noticed, and I really, really like about her books. It's just kind of like a little Easter egg that only like her die-hard readers will realize, but all of her main characters have 3 letter names, and I just love that little tidbit. So, Belle, our main character, her mom went missing when she was just a baby and disappeared, and no one knows where she went. And now Belle is 18 years old in her senior year of high school, and her dad ends up going and signing them up to make this documentary about her mother's disappearance. So these camera crews come in and all these people come in to talk to her about her life and how she feels about her mother's disappearance. And she kind of doesn't really remember life with her mother. So she has like conflicting weird feelings about it. But then while this is happening, her mother, shockingly, as the title says, reappears. And so it's kind of just this whole crazy like goose chase of trying to find out what actually happened while her mom was gone for those like 16 years. And I just found it so interesting. I loved the way the book ended. I thought it was just insane twist after twist in like the third act. She does them so well and so digestible, and I just love Holly Jackson. She can keep writing books forever and I will keep reading them forever. So I gave this one 4.5 stars. As you can see, I've rambled about it for quite a bit. I loved it. It's conflicting for me because I did rate Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy higher. I think that's just because since it's a series, I got more attached to the characters as I went on. But in my head, this one was so much better. Like it you could just see her writing improving through these books. And I just absolutely loved that. So, yes, Miss Holly Jackson gets a 4.5 star, but in my heart, it's kind of a 5 star because it is higher than Good Girl's Guide, but it didn't give me a 5 star feeling like Good Girl's Guide did. I don't know how to explain that, but I think I kind of just did in the best way I can. So, yes. Then finally, I finished this one last night, which was July 1st. So, I don't know if you'd count it as a June read, but I read most of the book in June. And I absolutely love this one. This was a subscriber recommendation. I'll put the comment here on the screen. I ended up picking it in my last TBR jar video because of this comment. It had been sitting on my shelf for a bit, and I'm so glad I picked it up. And that is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I am just so glad I picked this up. This book is so mystical and magical, okay? It's so fun. I love our main characters. I didn't realize that there was kind of like a queer centered throughway in this book, so that was a fun surprise. I absolutely loved reading it. TJ Klune is a genius. This gave me like the same warm and fuzzy magical feelings that Harry Potter kind of does, and I just loved it. I loved all our characters. If you guys don't know, this book is about our main character, Linus Baker, and he goes to this island on kind of like a work assignment because he works for this like government agency that is supposed to take care of the magical youth in their world. So he is sent to this island to go check on this orphanage. That's what they call it in the book, like these orphanages that take care of these magical children to make sure they're getting all of the things that they need and to make sure that they're not like a danger to society. So he goes to this one on this island, and this island has the most crazy magical children. Like, it's a very important island. And basically, all of this ensues after that. He has to help the government organization decide whether or not this orphanage should stay open with its current conditions. And it's just really sweet. It's a heartwarming story. A bunch of stuff happens after that. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but I gave this one 5 stars. And I'm so glad that this person right here recommended it to me and told me to get that off my TBR ASAP because I probably wouldn't have picked it up for another couple of months. And I am so glad I did. The setting on the island, too, is just so summery. I think the actual story takes place in like September, but the setting of this island in the middle of the Cerulean Sea is so summery and fun. And I just had a great time. There is actually a sequel to this book, and I can't wait to pick that up as well. So, this was a fabulous read. 5 stars. Thank you for the rec. Okay, now I'm going to quickly, because I know that took forever. I just got excited. I feel like I didn't document most of those books that I read last month, and they were all so good, very highly rated. All of them were above 4 stars, and some of them were 5 stars. So I just wanted to talk about them a little bit more because I feel like I didn't talk about them on the channel that much. And I just wanted to let you know, give you some good recommendations that I know 100% were good books. But now let's quickly run through the 4 books that I ended up missing this month. So, the first book that I did not read from my TBR last month is The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery by Gabrielle Zevin. Maria picked this out in my last TBR jar video as a book that we would end up buddy reading, but we have not yet ended up buddy reading it. Our schedules have been crazy, but I'm definitely excited to pick this up because I love Gabrielle Zevin. I love Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, and I can't wait to read more from her. I have no idea how this next book did not end up getting read because I am so excited to pick it up. But I think it's just because the vibes were not 100% right and 100% the way that I wanted them to be when I read this book. So I just didn't pick it up. Like, I literally want to be laying poolside when I start this book, and that is Happy Place by Emily Henry. But I'm sure I will be picking this up soon. We'll see if it gets on my TBR for this month. But I know I'm reading this summer, and that's all that matters to me. Then we have The Husbands by Holly Gramazio, which I just got a physical copy of recently. I'm excited to pick this one up. I just didn't end up doing it this month. That's honestly really all I have to say. This is on my 25 books for 2025, though, so I will definitely be picking it up sometime soon. Definitely sometime this year, but hopefully sometime soon. The final book that I did not pick up last month is Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. This is the sequel to Phantasma, and I just really wasn't in the mood for a dark romance like in the summer, a supernatural phantom romance. It just wasn't feeling right with how nice and warm and bright it was outside. But I'll probably end up picking this up in the fall. Who knows? Maybe our prompts for this month from our jar that we're about to get to will lead us to this book again. But for now, I just don't really want to pick it up in this kind of season. I feel like it would be a great fall read. Just can't do it right now. Okay, now it's time for the part of the video that I know you all have been waiting for. It is time for TBR Jar picks my July reads. So let's get right into it, and maybe we'll get some of the books that I missed last month. We shall see.
Okay, I'm actually going to stop using my mic for this part of the video, so if there is a drastic audio change, I am so sorry. I just feel like it is easier to do all of this moving around without the handheld mic. As always, all my options are right back here. I actually also have the books from last month down here because I want to keep this top shelf clear for our new TBR. But let's just pick our first prompt, okay? Let's see what we get. I'm gonna take this one right here. Ooh, okay, continue a series. So we have a couple options for that. Let's take a look. The only book that I have a physical copy of the next book in the series is Enchantra. So after saying all of that about how I don't want to read it this summer, I think we're gonna put it back onto our July TBR. So I may have spoken a little too soon. Who knows? Maybe I'll start getting a spooky urge in July. Okay, now that that's up there, let's just get to our next prompt. I'm gonna shake it up a little and then just take one out right here. Okay, our next prompt is a book you've owned for a long time. There's quite a few on here, so let's just pull them out. Out of all of the books on my shelf, these three have probably been on there the longest, sort of, and that is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, which I will not be picking up, okay? Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, which I also will not be picking up because I can't do classics right now. I can't do Old English right now. I can't do complex writing right now. It is summer and I'm here to have fun, okay? So I will be reading Flawless by Elsie Silver, which is also starting a new series. So that is really exciting to me. I have been waiting for so long to pick up any Elsie Silver book, but I wanted to start with this series because I know this was her first like super duper popular series, to my knowledge at least. So I'm definitely excited to pick this one up. And this is going straight up there with Enchantra. Okay, now that we've got two very different kinds of romance on this cart, let's see what is coming up next, okay? Ooh, these are like getting all messed up. Let me like unclump them. Unclumping them, hold on. Ooh, oh, one fell right out. So let's just see what this one is. A hardcover book. Okay, most of my books are hardcover, and honestly, wait a second, I have a pretty good selection right now. This is not too bad. Okay, but I think I know what I'm gonna pick. But I'm gonna pick my top three and then we'll do some thinking together. For this prompt, I'm going to use it to catch up on my books of the month because I have like 5 of them. I have 2 more coming in the mail for this month. Since it's my birthday month, I get a free add-on. So I really need to catch up on them. I like to read them in the month that I get them for, and I'm quite behind because I have not read one since May. So my options that I have picked are The Bombshell by Darrow Farr. This is a debut literary fiction novel, and it bases around our main character, who I'm pretty sure is the daughter of some kind of political figure, and she gets taken for ransom and then ends up making like friends with her captors. I am pretty sure that's what it's about. I could be completely wrong, but that idea sounds really interesting and I love the cover. So this is honestly probably going to be my pick for this prompt. But then I also have Silver Elite by Danny Francis. This is a debut fantasy novel that is the first book in a trilogy, and I just thought this copy is so gorgeous, so I had to add it on to my May box with The Bombshell. So this is another option. Then finally we have my June book of the month, which is Next to Heaven by James Frey. This is a contemporary fiction about a weird swinger party for rich people, which I think is kind of iconic. So that's why I picked this for my book of the month. It just sounds like a really interesting and like crazy plot. So this is my third option. But as I said, I think I'm going to be going with The Bombshell by Darrow Farr. I am so excited to pick this one up. So I'm going to put it right up here with my other two picks. I also forgot I had some books up here that I just recently got, which is really fun and exciting. I got the One of Us is Lying trilogy. That was from Felicity and Danny. You guys watch the channel, so thank you so much for that. That was like such a nice gift, and I'm so excited because I've heard these kind of have the same vibes, or at least in my head, they have the same vibes as A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and Felicity knows I love that trilogy, so I'm so excited to pick these up. And then I have Sounds Like Love, which is the new Ashley Poston book, and you guys know I love my girl Ashley, okay? She eats down every time. Every single one of her romances is like basically a 5-star for me every time, so I had to pick this one up. I pre-ordered it a while ago, totally forgot, and it came in the mail, and I was so excited. Okay, our next prompt is this one right here, and it is a book by an author you love. So I think I know what my top 3 options are here, but I'm going to pull them out, and I think you guys already have an inkling as well. So I think these 3 fit our prompt best. Obviously, like I just said, Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. I love Ashley Poston, and I can't wait to pick this up. Then we have, of course, our tried and true Happy Place by Emily Henry, which we all know I literally can't wait to read, but I need the perfect moment for it, okay? And then finally, from last month's TBR, The Storied Life of AJ Fikry. I love Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin, and I feel like this will be so fun to read. But I kind of want to have this just as an option for whenever Maria's ready, we can just kind of pick it up. I don't know if I want to put it on my TBR again. I kind of just want to like slip it into whatever month it works in. So with all of that being said, I think I'm going to be putting Happy Place by Emily Henry back on my TBR for the month of July. I cannot wait. So far we have 4 books. I think I'm gonna try and do 3 more prompts, so let's continue. Our next prompt is this one. Ooh, she's going shopping. It is a book I don't own. Very exciting. Let's check my TBR. Okay, so after looking at my not physical TBR, there is one book that I heard of recently that I am just like buzzing to read, and that is The Dinner List by Rebecca Searle. The plot, or like the whole idea and concept of this book, is so interesting to me. This girl, she shows up at her 30th birthday party, and all of her friends are there, or like 3 of her friends are there, but then also 3 people that are like, I don't know if they're all dead or what, but it's kind of like that question, like, oh, if you could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would you? And there's like 3 people there, like Audrey Hepburn is there, and so she just shows up to her birthday dinner, and like these people are there, and that concept just sounds like so interesting and kind of hilarious to me. So I've been really wanting to pick that one up, so I think I'm going to add that on to my TBR. 2 more prompts. So we've added The Dinner List by Rebecca Searle onto our monthly TBR. Let's see what else we are going to add. A book in my 25 in 2025. So I'm going to take a look at the list, but I do have some thoughts already. Okay, so after consulting the list, I have picked my top 2 books in my 25 books in 2025 list from the cart that I have physically. And those 2 are going to be The Husbands by Holly Gramazio and Sense and Sensibility. You guys know how I feel already. I don't want to read this right now. I've said it a million times. So I'm going to be picking The Husbands by Holly Gramazio. I've told you guys this plot before, I think, but just a little refresher. This lady goes into her attic or opens her attic or something, or out of her attic comes a different husband like every day. And that plot is just hilarious to me. Like, she just has a new husband and he just like is like totally assimilated into her life like every day or every couple days or something. And I just think that's hilarious. Like, I just think that's kind of iconic, and I just love the colorful cover. So I'm gonna be adding this onto my TBR for this prompt. This was also on last month's TBR, so very excited to have her back. We have 5 books from my physical TBR picked out so far for this month, and 1 book that I have to go and pick up. So it is time for our final pick. Let's see what we get. I'm nervous. I hope it's something good. I feel like I need 1 more good one for this month. Okay, I'm a little scared. And our last prompt is, you have to be fucking kidding me. You have to be fucking kidding me. A book with over 500 pages. You guys want to come take me out right now? Okay, let's take a look at our options. I think I only really have 1 option. I do think The Nightingale is over 500 pages, but that is such like a fall winter book. I refuse to even consider it for July. So our final pick is Silver Elite by Dani Francis. I spoke about this a little bit. It is the first book in a fantasy trilogy, and it is a debut novel from Dani Francis. So I'm very excited actually to pick this one up. 500 pages, a bit scary, but I think regardless, I will enjoy it. So we are going to put this one right onto our TBR. Okay, not to be crazy, but I feel like that last prompt wasn't that exciting to me. So I feel like I should just do 1 more. And it's okay if I don't finish the TBR, okay? But at least I have more options this month. I think that would be fun. Y'all are screaming at the screen right now. Girl, you read 4 books last month and you're about to clock in for 8 again. Yes, I think I am. I think I will. Just for fun, okay guys? Just for fun, all right? For fun. So let's get a fun prompt, please. Please, God, let me get a fun one. Oh, I picked up 2. I think I'm going to take whatever this one is. All right. Thank God. Thank God. Okay. A highly anticipated read. Very exciting. Very exciting. Let's see what we've got here. I feel like there is no book on this cart that I am anticipating as much as I am anticipating Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. I said it before, I'll say it again, I love Ashley Poston. So, very obviously, we will be putting this on our TBR. Okay, so those are the 8 books that I am hoping to read this month. Let's be honest, I'll probably only read 5 to 7, hopefully. That's my goal. But it would be so slay if I read all of them. So let's run through our July TBR. In no particular order, we have Silver Elite by Dani Francis, Enchantra by Kaylee Smith, The Dinner List by Rebecca Searle, The Husbands by Holly Gramazio, The Bombshell by Darrow Farr, Happy Place by Emily Henry, Flawless by Elsie Silver, and finally, Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. So those are all of the books I am hoping to read in the month of July. And now As always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to comment down below any video suggestions, book recommendations, or anything else you want to let me know. And while you're down there, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys next Friday at 10 a.m. Bye!